Hello everyone, so this is going to be a follow-up analysis video on where dev currently stands. Obviously no numbers are set, we're pretty much waiting for them until around the patch release or slightly after. Uh, Flameshaper has received some pretty decent changes, with one of the bugs that previously plagued it for like 2 to 3 weeks was fixed. So now it's right behind Scale Commander like it always has been. Visual indicator for consume flame is actually noticeable now. It's basically a huge fire, like blast kind of explosion, instead of like the little puny one that it had before. Damage increased by 90% instead of 750 for one tick of fire breath, which is awesome. Obviously pairs with the damage over time increased by 15% for fire breath, which is for devastation specifically. And then eternity surge damage increased by 20%, with scintillation being decreased by 10%. Obviously, it's still a major buff, considering that scintillation is around 70 to 80% upwards for Eternity Surge damage for us. Uh, Other than that, it's still pretty much Scale Commander, I think, being ahead. I know last week, and it could still be the same for this week, with current build numbers, I know Flameshaper was slightly ahead, but I'm not entirely sure now. I believe Scale Commander is still on top regardless, considering the Eternity Surge damage increase, and then obviously the Hazard Celerity being a thing now. Uh, Other than that, we still have a lot of issues with various interactions with their spells, mainly being our empowered spells are kind of whack right now. I would like to see more. Well, it really depends on what kind of cook you would have, but I would really like a buff to causality. So us having our empowered spells up way more often than they are now. Right now, you can pretty much get them up to around 15, or you can use them maybe about every 15-ish seconds. I would like to see even lower, maybe like 10 to 12 seconds. Uh, Causality pretty much being the absolute pinnacle of what Devastation is. Our entire rotation, everything we do revolves around having that as much as possible, or using it, or not using it, utilizing it as much as possible, I should say. I feel as though that our kit should revolve around that more instead of revolving around our empowered spells buffing our spenders. I personally don't care about our spenders. I would rather us just be able to send a lot of spells all the time, as I said. Uh, I know I said it in this last week, but Firestorm being where it currently is, I would like it still to be redesigned to where it would work more like a pressing roar, where it would apply a debuff to enemies and just have those enemies take the extra damage. It was like 10% for pretty much any of the talented passives that go into Firestorm. Have it be a debuff that would be applied to enemies instead of them having to be in the circle. It would completely fix that, and then of course you can cook with the other passives to make those interactions work any way that's completely different from it now. Uh, when it comes to the changes that I would like for Flameshaper, I would like to see a Chaos Bolt angle where it always crits. Obviously, if you want to do it, you'd probably have to nerf the damage a little bit, but just allow us to have it always crit, because regardless, the amount of effort that we have to put into uh, making the engulf like effectiveness really high, for it to not crit, and then us having to wait that extra amount of time for the next engulf once we get both engulfs rolling, it's pretty massive. And then consume flame, I wish it would have an interaction the exact same way as engulf. Have it worked off of the effectiveness. It would obviously just be great. Uh, Literally just have it do more than just what it is right now. Any way that you would want. I really don't care. It just needs to be buffed. Uh, I know in the Evoker Discord there have been a lot of people, mainly a few, that would like to see a change to scintillation compared to where it is right now, which I actually completely agree with. I've actually been wanting this since the dawn of time for Devastation, where scintillation should be buffing or adding more than just blue spells. I don't really know what direction you would really want to go with it, but it would be kind of cool to see a portion of its damage work exactly like in Kindle, maybe, or every single time uh, scintillation procs, like have it proc more often, have it work off of causality, etc., whatever. Give us like more haste, more crit, whatever. Just allow us to make more use of Scintillation, and as I said, just allow us to use our empowered spells more often. Even add Fire Breath to a Scintillation type thing. Make it throw out like Pyrus for prime example. Like just anything cool like that, I guess. Other than that, if you have any cooks or questions or comments or whatever you want to leave down below, or you can leave them down below, and depending on what changes are coming out this following week, I know I uploaded this a little late, I was actually pretty busy. If there are massive changes, I will of course make a video. However, if there were very few dev changes, I probably will not make another video involving Devastation until the patch release. And I will be making a Scale Commander and Flameshaper guide. For the most part, everything is changing quite drastically. Rotations more or less staying the same kind of, but you are mainly going to be playing around new procs, mainly your tier set. Anyways, as I said, leave any comments you have down below, and thank you for watching.